and welcome to the Fit and Fabulous at Any Age podcast. I am here today with my co host, my beautiful mother, who is also a Fierce Queen fitness coach. My mom and me today, we are going to be talking about kind of our journey together simultaneously. We already did a podcast of like your journey, mom, and like what that felt like. But I wanted to talk about like mine and your journey and kind of how they've like intertwined and what we do now. Obviously, like you're in your 50s, I'm in my 30s, but like through our time together, like things that we've done, it's pretty cool that we both compete. I always love telling people that, like like I had a lady come up to me at the gym and she was asking me about competing, and she was close to your age, mom, and I just said, well, my mom competes, like you could totally do it, like there's no age cutoff, like you can do anything if you just set your mind to it. And I love like showing people like your picture and they're like, that's your mom, like wow, you must have great genetics. I'm like, I do have great genetics, but we also worked really hard to get here. And we've
Yes.
lost a lot of weight, we've lost a lot of body fat, we've made some huge composition changes. I think a lot of people see you and they think, oh, well, that's why you look the way you look, Brooklyn, because your mom is so shredded. I'm like, well, my mom works her ass off, and she hasn't always looked like this, and you haven't always been in this phase. So let's talk about like, I don't know, kind of where we both started. We both were like really doing a lot of running. Do you remember that? Like all the marathon or half marathons we were doing?
A lot of running. Yeah, we both just really got into it about the same time. You were doing that bone race, and I remember I woke up one morning and I'd never ran before, but I'm like, I want to run. And I ran 3 miles that Sunday. And from there, it just,
Like Forrest Gump. I just
yes,
want to run.
I just woke up and I wanted to run, and I ran straight 3 miles. And after that, I kept running, and you were already doing your half marathon, the bone and back, and you ran the hardest leg of it. And we just kept going together. You kept running. I just started running more. And we started doing those Surf City half marathons in California because my mom and dad were there and Natalie lived there. So we would go to the beach and we would run those half marathons. And that was really fun. And then one year, Dakota joined us. We both got injured before that, but yeah, we've had a lot of fun doing it. But are you hearing the feedback
Yeah,
from
those
that?
were really fun. I liked, I think we're just lagging our
Yeah,
between each other. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Yeah,
Okay. Um, yeah. No, I those were fun. I really enjoyed. I think I liked the traveling of those more than the actual running. The running was fun, but it was a lot and it was hard. And I always, even though I was young, like I was always getting hurt when I would run. I
me
think just
too.
like I don't think all women are built to run long distances like that. And although I did like cross country and track, I still like I still feel like my body just I don't know. I feel like the most I've ever been injured was when I was training for those things.
Me too. I got a lot of
So
injuries from those, as much fun as they were, but we just kept doing it. I mean, it's just what we did and kept going. But
like they
yeah,
were
and
fun. I
then
just feel like too that was like when I was like looking at like pictures of like muscle girls on magazines, and I'm like, I don't think I'm ever gonna look like that if I keep running like I am. And I even remember I had a trainer tell me like you cannot run like that and get a body that you want. Like the body you're looking for, like the lean toned, like muscular physique. So that was kind of the start of that. Um
yeah, you started it. I mean, you started into this bodybuilding journey way before I did, and you got it, Dakota and I both into it. But it's a whole different training and a whole different mindset. Like, and you eat differently too. I mean, so it was really good to just I don't know, my body kept getting injured too. So I had to pull back from it. I mean, I definitely had to. I think when I realized it was the Spartan that we ran together, we had so much fun, but I injured 3 ribs, and then I went to the gym, and that's when I learned I had to start training differently because I just kept getting injured. But it was fun. It was really fun, but we've always worked out together and done competitions together. And so, yeah, this was just another part of it. This was you started it and I followed. So,
Well, it was more of like, I think it was more, well, because we were both, I'm trying to remember the last what run that we did. But we both, I think we liked the running just mostly for the travel. Like, it's kind of when we started traveling together, and that was really fun. Because I remember it was nice. It was just you and me, because I have 4 sisters. And so it was nice to just have you all to myself for a few days. I was like, oh, this is great. It's just me and mom, like, because we have, 5 girls in our family. So when we're together, it's like, boom. So that was really nice. And then, yeah, I started competing really like I think me and Jordan's my husband. Jordan was like he's the one that got me into competing and encouraged me to do my first show. And that was kind of the start of bodybuilding. And then I got Dakota to do it, who is also Coach Fierce Queen Fitness, my sister. Got her into competing too, and she competed a handful of times. Me and her actually did a few shows together. We traveled to Idaho and competed a few times together. Um, and I remember talking to you, and I was like, Mom, like I don't know, I think I don't know, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of the reason why you didn't do it is because you were really worried about what other people thought, number one, and maybe number two is like you didn't think you could do it. And I think that's where a lot of women get stuck with their goals, is they're like, well, the women I see doing it look like this. I don't think I could ever do it. And I remember I think you told me like both of those things like 2 different times. And I'm like, well, Mom, you never know till you try, until you start. And so I kept like, I think I kept like kind of like hinting it at
nudging
you.
you.
Yeah, like kind of just like, oh, you should just try it and see if you like it. Because you did do the running and you liked doing those things. So I guess like I know we're kind of all over the place right now, but I don't care. Like, what kind of nudged you to go from the running and doing all that? Because I think in between you did like beach body and you did like group classes and you did like,
Yeah.
all the classic things all the women do. When you finally just like transitioned, because I remember you messaged me and you're like, I think I want to do a show, and then I kind of helped you get ready for that first show. It was in Utah. You did your very first show, and I coached you because I remember I had 2 other clients at the time too, and
That's
Nina and
right.
I think Danielle.
Uh-huh.
I was like full on I was a full competition prep coach at that time. Like that's all I did. Um, and so I got you ready for that show. But like, what for you? I think a lot of women get stuck in the before. Like, and I'm not saying all women want to compete, but maybe they want to change their body, but they're kind of stuck in this like afraid of what other people will think maybe, or they're stuck in this mindset of like I don't think I could ever do that. Like what would you say to those women, or advice you'd give them, or I guess like kind of give us insight of what changed and clicked for you?
What had clicked for me, I remember I was really down, just really, really down. And I needed to see my strength. And all I saw was all my weaknesses. I'd been injured. Everything I had done was just not working. I guess I was just depressed. I had given everything of myself to everybody else. And as far as, what people thinking of me competing, oh, hell yeah. I live in Idaho. I mean, we live in this area that a lot of people my age, the younger girls they're doing it now because I think they've had girls go before them that have made it a better sport. But when I was younger, it was a hardcore sport. It really messed with a lot of the men and women that did it. And, for somebody my age to do it, what are you thinking? And something clicked because I remember we were at a competition that Dakota was competing at, and you're like, Mom, it's your turn. And that stayed in the back of my head. And so there is something that just, when you get down and out to your lowest and you need to find strength and something comes out of nowhere and it's almost like God is pushing you to do something harder than you've ever done before. And for me, competing was something that I would have never thought ever that I would ever compete, even though my daughters had competed. I mean, you guys were strong and young, and this whole new generation of kids that compete now. But for somebody my age, that's a whole different story. And especially in this area. But it was something I woke up one morning and I'm just like, I was on fire and I knew I needed to compete. And so I stuck my like feet in and I just went for it hardcore. And it was a big goal of mine. It was just a huge goal. And I knew I was supposed to compete. And like I've said before, probably for so many different reasons. Um, but it's also when you compete, your mind has to be really strong and you have to know you want to do it and you have to keep going for it. Push through all those fears that you've had in your life of what would people think? What will people think of me? I think I was 50 at the time, and it's something I wanted to do for my 51st birthday. And it was just a big goal, and I just went for it and I kept going for it. I pushed through a lot of fears. And, um, but I also had you and Dakota that had competed before. So, um, I knew that I could do it, but it was helpful to know you guys had done it. And I guess I had learned through the years that I just needed to tackle it step by step, day by day. And I just kept going for it. But I think I was at the lowest of the low when almost an intervention hit me. And it was like, you're doing it, you're competing, Camille. You're going to do something so hard that's going to totally change the way you feel about yourself and the strength that you have. Like, as women, we have so much strength in us, but a lot of times life can take it away from us with injuries, with things that happen in our families, that happen with us, that we need a really hardcore goal to make us feel like, oh, hell yeah, I'm doing this. I'm going to do it and I'm going to conquer it. And I did. I got on stage. I visualized a lot that year and I just knew I was going to do it with every fiber of my being. So for those women that are stuck, sometimes you get stuck for so long that you're almost depressed and you're sad and you need a big goal. Go big. Just go big and make it something you're excited about and tell your friends. And you get those people in your corner that will help you push through everything. I mean, I had some good friends that were like, no, this is like the coolest thing ever. And then I had some friends that, didn't really know what to think. And I had to kind of let that go. And it didn't matter. I was doing it. I just pushed through everything and I did it. But it was also really cool that I had you and Dakota that had done it before that I could lean back on and, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? And, then it was fun picking out suits and oh my gosh, like to see myself on stage in those back poses and yeah, but you just keep doing it day by day. And I think that's the biggest thing is day by day, you can do anything. You can just do anything day by day. And if you get injured, well, work around it. Just work around it. Um, and I think the biggest mindset change for me also was um, taking my power back and knowing I can do it. Figuring out foods that I liked. So it was, geez, just the journey was amazing. I learned so much about myself, probably like you did, Brooklyn. I mean, to do something big like this, like in our area to bodybuild years ago, it was almost taboo. And
Oh,
I
I remember
think,
when I started. Do you remember the flock I got from our family? Do you remember how many
oh,
family members
oh yeah,
were
I had one of my
cruel
sisters.
to me?
It was like
Cruel to
porn.
me, cruel to you. I had family people tell me I was basically a porn star.
Yeah.
Um, I had a family member ask if I was going to hell. Like, I mean, even like where I lived in a pretty conservative area where I went to college. And although, like, I had my husband who's always supported me through all of this, thank goodness, I also, I mean, it's not like now. Social media, I feel like, has opened people's eyes to this thing, but I started competing before social media was really even a thing. Like Instagram, I think it's gonna age me, but Instagram like hadn't even been a thing. Like at that point, I think there was maybe Facebook, but I mean TikTok wasn't a thing. Like you didn't have any of these social media outlets. So when I started competing and I started posting photos, um, I really kind of at that point started to find out like who my people are and who my people are not. So I always tell my clients like you set a really big goal for yourself and you will find out who your people are and who your people are not, because the people who
True.
are your people, they'll support you and love you no matter what it is. Like I know for you, mom, like even if I'm like, mom, I'm gonna be a porn star, you'd be like, yeah, like like you would just love me no matter what. But like
So true.
obviously this competing is so different. Like competing is not like that. I wish they paid me to compete because well now they will because I'm a pro, but as an amateur for so long. But I struggled with that too, mom. It was really hard. It was hard to break through that with our family because we have a very conservative Christian family. And I
Yes.
do have people ask me, like, well, you're Christian. Like, especially when I was a really active, I'll just say I was a really active, like Mormon and like Latter day Saint. I no longer am I part of the church. But when I was a part of the church, I remember even, oh gosh, like I was at church one day and I was really good. Like I went to church, I was doing all these things. This was kind of the final straw for me. Like after this, I was like, I don't really care to hear about this anymore. I had the bishop's wife, which is similar to like a pastor's wife, come up to me and say, "Hey, I saw a photo on social media. Me and Jordan had been married for like 3 years, 4 years at that point, and I saw you in a bathing suit on stage. I just don't know how you get up and flaunt your body like that." She literally said it like that. I don't know how you flaunt your body like that. And I looked at her and I said, "Well, I just love it." And like I didn't know what else to say. And then the next week she gave a lesson in Sunday school for all the women. You remember this, Mom? I told you about this
Yes.
about
Yeah.
how bikinis are of the devil. And
Oh my
after
God.
that, I was like,
That's
okay,
it.
like we're done. Like I told Jordan, he's like, no, they did not. And I'm like, Jordan, it is ridiculous how. And so after that, I just was like, I'm done. And then I remember I would get things from like people that were like really close to me, family member wise, like say like really harsh things. Even my like some of my best friends from college would say things that said things to me. I lost some friendships, but I wouldn't say those weren't really my friends. They weren't really my like. Although they're family and I love them no matter what, like they're not my people. Like if
Mhm.
you can't support me in something that you don't understand, maybe try to understand it first before you judge. So I would say like for the females that are worried about people like and what are they going to think about me, well, if you're worried about what they're going to think about you, they probably are going to judge you no matter what you do, so you might as well just do what you want anyways. Because I would say for me, if I worried about what everybody thought about me up to this point, I would not be anywhere where I want to be. I remember even like with Jordan, when I was dating Jordan, I had so many family members tell me like, "Don't like he's a bad guy," and I'm like, "He's literally the nicest person in the world. He's just not a loud, egotistical guy like boisterous. Like he's so calm and like chill." Like I feel like for women that are worried about what other people think, like they're gonna judge you anyway, so you might as well just give them something to talk about. Like, and I don't know, I truly don't know. Like, I have my neighbors, love them all, they're great people. I don't know what they say about me or they talk about me at all. I have no idea, but I'm sure they do. Like, they're like, oh, geez, you see, Brooklyn's gone again at another competition, strutting her stuff on a stage, you know?
And yet,
So,
don't you think they're partly jealous? It takes so much confidence to do that. It really does. To me, when somebody can bash on you for something like that, it's almost like they almost wish they could have that confidence to be on stage to do something like that. I remember somebody saying, "Are you worried about people looking at your body on stage and in those skimpy bikinis?" I'm
The
like,
whole point.
I know, I love it. No, but I just remember, and she was just a young girl, and she's like, "Does that worry you that people are looking at you?" I'm like, "No, it's actually really cool because it's the only way they can see all the work I've put into my muscles. It's the only way they can see your shape and the muscles." I mean, it's funny, people that aren't in this sport or this bodybuilding world, they view it differently. They see people in bikinis and they're like, "Oh my gosh." But when you're in this sport, how else are you going to see those muscles? How else are you going to see all the work that they've put into themselves? It's the only way. And they're these women and men that get on stage are beautiful. They've worked hard for these physiques, very, very hard. They're extremely disciplined
Yeah.
in both your body, your mind, and your food.
In training.
A,
Yes.
it takes a lot. You have to have a strong spirit to be able to do this sport, to be able to keep doing it and to withstand people and some of their comments sometimes. But years ago, it was very different. And like you said, social media has helped out it a lot. And a lot of people compete now. It's a way a lot of people feel strong in a world that I think can really, um, beat you down. And so to feel strong and in your body and your mind and your spirit. I mean, this sport is what it's about. It's an incredible sport. Yeah, so I don't know, it was so different years ago, and but I think you have educated a lot of people with that, Brooklyn, but also you get to a point where you're like, I remember years ago, I'm like, you just kind of don't listen to them and you don't talk to them until
You
they
surround yourself with people that actually support you and like are excited for you.
Yeah, well,
But
and yeah, because they're huge goals. They're just huge goals. And to me, in this world, big goals are important. It's what keeps you on fire in life, what keeps you excited. And really, it sustains your mind, I think, and keeps you at peace with a lot of other things that can be going crazy. So it's such a great sport. I'm so grateful for it. I didn't realize when I started competing what a blessing it would be in my life. And that sounds funny, but it's really calmed a, it's really calmed a lot of things down in my life in my own control.
yeah,
So
I agree.
yeah.
I think competing, and maybe this for some women they never have the care to get on stage, but I have had a handful of clients, especially after I got my pro card. After I got my pro card, I'm gonna cry. I'm sorry, but
Oh, such a big deal.
no, I had a lot of clients say I was never thought I could compete, but I watched you all year as you just persevered and like kept trying and failing and trying, and then you got on stage and you finally won it. Like I had probably 6 clients of mine like literally say I want to compete now because of you, and not like, and for me I never am like, oh yeah, you're gonna get on stage. I'm like, wow, like look at all this growth that you're gonna go through and like become. So I think for I don't know why I'm crying, is so silly, but I think for a lot of women who they see competing, I don't, and if you've ever like considered it or you've ever thought about it, like I would say like why not? Like why not try it out? If it's ever just crossed your mind and you've always thought like, because I remember that was my first, like I saw Erin Stern um on a magazine, Muscle and Fitness hers. I never grabbed the other magazines. I always grabbed the Muscle and Fitness hers because I loved the muscular women. I thought they were so amazing. This is before social media, okay? So this was like when I was a teenager, when I was a fresh in college. Those were the magazines I bought. Because I was just in so much admiration of these women who had muscle because I was really under muscled. I was really kind of like tall and lengthy and I didn't have much to me. I also was fighting my PCOS. And so like now I love the shift that we've had, like strong women, like, And now that we have like this new fit model division for the NPC, like I really strongly encourage other women. Like I even told a client, like she's got a great physique. I'm like, honestly, if you've ever thought about competing, you should totally do it. Um, because I've also watched like clients of mine transform through their competing, and like their personalities have come out even more. Like they they just, I don't know. I just feel like if it's something you've thought about, you should just do it. If competing's like way completely like not even in the like the realm of what you're thinking, then set a goal for like something. Whether it be just, I don't know, to look better. But I'm always, you guys know, like I love bodybuilding. I got my mom to do it, my sister does it. I'm about to go into my pro season, which I was really scared. Probably until like you told me, Mom, you're like, you just need to visualize. So I started doing that, and I started working on my self
It
talk, and I
works.
started working on, yes, and it's funny because those are all the things I tell my clients to do, but I myself, especially as like coming into like a season like as a pro bodybuilder now, like I had to start doing that, and now I'm like doing it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do great. Like I'm gonna do awesome. Like it's gonna be a great season. I'm gonna have so much fun. So I don't even know what I was talking about, but to go back, I think I'm like trickling off. But for women, I feel like if you're worried about what other people think, like, here's the thing. At the end of the day, I always tell my clients, I'm like, you always find out who your people are when you start a fitness journey. Because your people that love you, no matter what, will love you through it all. And they will encourage you and they will support you and they'll be excited for you through it all. The ones who aren't your people will make fun of you. They'll make you feel stupid. They'll discourage you from doing it. Those aren't your people. And that's the best way I find to filter through your life is I heard someone say like and promote and fire accordingly with people in your life. You know, for example, like if you're the friends and the family members that encourage you and support you, promote them. Like be their friend, you be like they'll be your friend, you be their friend, like you be there for them, like all these things. But the people who don't do that for you, fire them. Like you don't need to keep those friends in your life. It was really sad when I started competing and I started my journey, and also when I started my business. I lost a lot of people I thought were my friends. I don't like to say I lost friends because they weren't my friends to start with because they became I don't know if it was jealous or I made them feel a little weird, or I was not like lining up with the person that they are. But through this last year, I feel like I have found like my people, right? And I know, Mom, you've been through something similar. Like you have found like your friends, and then you have found people that maybe aren't your friends. And that kind of sucks and that kind of hurts sometimes, but I feel like it's an essential part of going through the journey.
It is. You
Is like
always find your
finding your
people. You always do. And another thing, um, something so big. I just kept thinking, I'm only getting older. I'm only getting older.
yeah.
I mean, these big goals, we've always loved to do big things together, but getting on stage, doing a bodybuilding competition was huge for me. And it was the coolest birthday present to myself ever. And and it has stayed with me. I love it. And how cool is it? I get to do it with my daughters. I mean, it's just the coolest thing. I mean, there's not very many. I think I know about 5 or 6 women that have done this with their daughters, but never 2 daughters. I mean, this is just so rare. And we were even posted on NPC News online at the Olympia check-ins. We were their face of the check-ins, and it was all 3 of us. And it's just how cool is that? I mean, you just never know when you start something that it's just gonna like be something that you love so much. And yeah, you do evolve. You find something that you love to do and you do evolve. And I've watched Brooklyn go through all of this. And this last year was incredible watching her with her resilience pick herself back up and hit the stage again, even when it was so very, very hard. And I know sometimes the mind is just like, oh, I don't want to do it again, but she did it and she got after it. And now she's pro and she's hitting her pro season. And it's about the coolest thing to watch because for me, I understand the passion that she has. I love it. And to me, my heart it just beats so hard for her because I know what she feels and what she's been through and what she's going to feel like when she hits the pro stage. I mean, Wasatch Warrior, it's coming up. And all that visualization that you're doing, but you're also putting in the time. I mean, you just had a big weekend where you stepped on stage with pros and you did that. Like you don't just talk about it. You don't just visualize it. You do it. Like you do all the hard things because you visualized them and you're doing them. So you put the work in too. So it's fun to watch. It's really fun to watch. And then I get to do it too. So it's like the coolest thing ever. Yeah.
It's been fun. I really loved competing with you. The first show we did was the Arnold Amateur back in
That was so
2024.
fun.
That was really fun. Oh my gosh, we were so silly.
We were giggly.
We
Yeah.
were so silly. We had so much ice cream. Well, we found, so I don't do well with dairy. So as soon as we got done competing, they had this, so we competed and that was really cool. Like we were on the Arnold stage,
We
that was
are.
just, we
Yes.
almost missed it too. Do you remember we almost missed getting on stage?
Yeah. Because it was
That
a
was my fault.
huge convention center. Huge.
Huge.
Yeah.
It was
Biggest
so
ever.
stressful. Oh my gosh. Lesson learned. I always escape out. Now I always, anytime I go to a show, the first thing I do when I get in, I go get my food, I get like meet up with my coach, and then I go from the front door to the room I need to
See where it's
be
at.
for the show
Yep.
because I've learned from that show that if you don't know where you're going, you might miss even getting on stage. And we almost did.
We
Oh,
did. We almost did. And you had my bikini with you. And so I was like stripping in the hallway as they're like, you're on, the masters are on. I'm like
oh.
stripping and getting my bikini on. And I'm running, getting my heels on and my jewelry. And I barely made it on stage. In fact, I was so nervous, my mouth was dry. And I remember after a couple big breaths, and I calmed down and I hit it and I smiled and I did it. I was on stage. I was at the Arnold on stage with one of my biggest, like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I grew up watching him with my dad. And so, but it's funny, as much as I wanted to meet him and Chris Bumstead and Jocko, like they were all talking that day. We were so hungry after we competed that we missed them speaking and we went and we ate. We went to that big, oh, it was a market and we went and
Yep.
found some Jenny's ice cream and we ran into Paul and to Evan and it was
It
so
was so
much
good.
fun. It was so much
The ice
fun.
cream was so yummy. Well, and I was able to eat it because I don't eat dairy, like I can't do regular ice cream, it just wrecks me. And so they had a dairy free option and it was so good. And we just ate that. That's like all we ate that day. And then we ate some more of it. And that was so great. That was
And then we
fun.
ate some more of it later. We took
And
an
we ate some
Uber
more of it
out
later.
like a half an hour. It was like 11:30, no, 10:30 at night.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was so fun. Yeah,
that
and the
was fun.
expo was huge.
The expo was so fun. I know. Well, and I did the Arnold last year as an amateur in bikini as well, and it just wasn't the same. So we'll have to go again this next February
It
maybe
was fun.
and
And to
go.
be honest, one of the coolest things is if you are thinking of competing or go to a show or go to one of these competitions. I mean, the men and the women there, I remember they're just beautiful. And they're some of the kindest people you'll ever meet because they love the sport. And it's like a lot of them, they've been through all these hard things and they just want to be good and kind to others. And so they just kind of envelop you in and they're just like, yeah, how you doing? Like, and
Exterior. I feel like competitors have a
yes,
really rough exterior, but internally, like
they're the
we're
best
probably some of
people.
the most compassionate and kindest people because we've been through usually people who compete, I found all the women I've met this year through competing and all of my friends that have gone pro or are on the national stage
You're
have
so
been through
kind.
some like ridiculously hard shit, like traumatizing stuff. Like some of the things my friends have been through, I'm like, yeah, I get why you compete because I compete for the same reason. It keeps me out of, honestly, it keeps me from being an alcoholic. It keeps me from being a drug addict. Like, it keeps me from being a food addict. Like, someone who literally, like, uses food to deal with all my problems. Like, bodybuilding has honestly saved me from a
A
lot
lot.
of that shit. And I don't think all people should compete. I don't think competing is for everybody. It is very extreme.
It,
But I do think, like, certain personalities thrive in it for a reason because we love the structure. And that's why I do it, because I love extremes. If I wasn't doing bodybuilding, I'd be doing like probably like Spartan races, or I would be doing like the high rocks or something, because I love extremes. I love intensity, but
I
I
do
like
too.
bodybuilding because it's easy for me to do day in and day out. I don't have to go put in 4 hours running. I can go to the gym for 45 minutes, and I can walk on my treadmill downstairs, and then I just keep my diet in check.
Well, and also being older, I've lived through a lot of stuff. I've been injured a lot. I've had a hip replacement. I've been in wrecks. I have a knee right now that just keeps getting sore. Um, but bodybuilding is one of the safest things you can do for your body. It really is. You're very precise with your movements and very careful. And so to me, bodybuilding is just safe on your body. It keeps you safe. You can really control your movements. And so when I went from running into bodybuilding, I'm like, I can do this. This is something I can live with for the rest of my life and continue to do and be strong. And I'm not going to injure myself. I get injured doing stupid things, but never bodybuilding, never lifting. Those things you're very controlled movement. So yeah, I've loved this part of my life, and it has gotten me through some hard things. I had a friend that I met at North Americans, and we were talking, and um, she's like, I lost my husband 2 years ago. And she said, this has been the only thing that has kept my sanity. And I'm like, it is cool because you can keep your sanity when you're doing something so hard. It keeps your focus. It keeps your mind focused on other things to where you can release and then go back to your life and your other loved ones and take care of them versus letting the stress and the insanity take over. So to me, it's been a real lifesaver of helping me through anxiety and things that took me before. I have a focus and an outlet that could easily pour it into food, and I would just get depressed even more. I would blow up. I would get even unhealthier. I would get more injuries, and I would sit on the couch a lot. Instead, when after I ran and I was getting injured so much, I went back to the gym and I'm like, bodybuilding's good. It's such a healthy sport. And I'm glad social media has put it out there that the people in it are good. They're good people. They're so kind and loving. And it's just a really good outlet. And it's been good for us because we do have those personalities of, I do like the hardcore stuff. I
Oh,
do love being tested, and I love all the hard things. I love that it's hard, but it's doable. It's so doable. It's so easy. It's just a day by day thing. And I don't know. We've had a lot of fun with it together. Um,
it's been fun. We've done some fun shows together, and I
really
think
fun
like
shows.
some really fun things, and it's nice. It's nice that we do it together, but also it's nice that you understand. I mean, but even before you were competing, you were very supportive of all the
Yeah.
shows I did and everything I did. I couldn't imagine you being any different than that, because you've always been like that. You've always been supportive of everything. But yeah, I think like for a lot of women, there's a lot of fear of like, I don't know if I can do that. Well, you don't know unless you try. Like, just go all in and just try it out. Like, and just, who cares? Like, other people, I know it's so hard to get to the point where you don't care what other people think, but you do get to a point where you're just like, all right, if they're going to judge me, that's their problem. And they're clearly not like the people for me. Like, if I ever have someone like say something that's like almost like passive aggressive with my competing or anything that I do, I just immediately am like, all right, well, I'm done talking to you about this. Like, you're not my person. Like, but I don't talk about myself like hardly ever when I talk to people. It's usually always about them and what they're doing. Um, but I think like for the fear of other people, what they think, you eventually just let that go. Number two, like if you feel like you've gone past the point where you won't get there, well, you don't know unless you try. I've literally helped women in their 60s, their 50s, like 40s, like, and even women who have had like, I don't know, lots of hormonal issues, like get the body of their dreams even after all of the shit. And I really like what you said, Mom. Bodybuilding being an anchor. I always tell my clients, like when they're going through hard things, I would say you need to let your training and your walking be your anchors for stress relief. They need to be your anchors for stress relief because that's for me. I don't train and I don't do my cardio and my walking for, I do it obviously like for competing, but honestly, a big part of my day is like that helps me manage my stress.
Yeah.
Because if not, I'm losing my shit on everybody. And then your nutrition fuels you so you can have enough energy to like pour back into everybody else. So I think like for a lot of women, they're like, oh, well, what if I can't get there? Well, try. Just try and start and do something first. Hire the help, hire the coach, work with the person, pay the money, and work towards it because you never know unless you actually try. And I won't lie, like through my journey of competing, I mean, geez, I've talked about this, it's taken me over a decade to like get to where I am at this point. Like it might take you a long time, but so what? Like anything else in your life, you're that degree you got, you didn't get that in 1 year. I always tell this to my clients. Like, you didn't get the degree you got in 1 year. It took you years, or the career. Like if I have women that are in like really high positions in their career, I'm like, you didn't get to this point in your career right out of college, did you? And they're like, oh no, I've had to work my ass off to get here. I'm like, it's the same thing. If you want to get there, you just have to like be like, okay, I'm gonna get there. But you got to take away the mindset of like, I'll never get there. Because if you tell yourself that, like what you told me earlier, Mom, with like my pro season, if you tell yourself like it's not gonna happen, you're probably right, right? If you tell yourself I can do this and I'm gonna make it happen, you will. But you just got to do it. It's not too late. Like I've worked with women at all ages. It is not too late. Like it's a matter of you wanting it and you just doing it. And when you do that and you show up every day, it happens. Um,
Well, and it's
yeah.
important to focus on your strengths. I mean, we can beat ourselves up in our life. We can just look at everything we do wrong or the weaknesses in our body that can, be hard to overcome. I've had injuries. I mean, I could have looked at those and been like, uh, my hip's sore. It really hurts. I can't do it. Well, wrap it. I mean, you just wrap it, you train around it, and you keep going. You just find ways to keep going, work around it, and you see the strengths. You see all the good things that your body's doing for you. You see all the good things that your body can do for you. All your strengths with your lifting. Like, what are you good at with lifting? Well, I'm good with my upper body, and my legs are pretty damn strong too. And there are things that I can do that, wow, I am really strong. And then you look at your food and you're like, well, I remember when I first started macros, it was really hard to learn it. But it was really cool because I started learning the foods that I liked, and that was really cool. I mean, what are some good recipes that you like? I mean, that's part of the journey is what can you make on your own? What can you make good? What can you make sweet? I know Dakota has posted lately also some of her good food. And when you start getting into your season, you have to start remembering some of those good foods that were a little bit um, lighter and not so many macros in them. So you really have to be careful with your food and you learn, oh, that's right, this is really good. And so you take that control back. You start seeing all the good things and all the positives. You start focusing on everything good and all your strengths. Like, I bet if you sat down and write down all the things you were good at, you would come with a big long list. And the more you write, the more it'll just branch out. Okay, well, I'm really good at this. I'm really good at this. My body's strong this way. I can do this. And so I think it's important to focus on our strengths. Really important as you start this journey. That'll make it easier to start and to keep it going because, we can be really hard on ourselves. But it's the coolest journey to start. I mean, whatever your goal is, if you want to bodybuild, do a competition, that is so cool. But if you just want to be healthy and fit and get strong, that's a cool goal. I mean, it's fun when you start feeling yourself again and stop feeling like everything is taking a big chunk out of you and you can be who you want to be because your life will just keep going on, whether you keep getting taken by everything else or you push through it and you're like, I'm doing it this time. I'm totally doing it this time. Nothing's going to take this away from me ever again. And you just do it because life just keeps going on. No matter what you do, it just keeps going. So you just learn what works for you and you learn your strengths, and visualizing is really important. And like Brooklyn said, so there's so many good things in life. It's just bodybuilding's amazing. Feeling strong is amazing. Yeah, feeling yourself is really good. So
You said like, um, being able to. Oh man, I just went blank. I loved it though. What did you say? It was so great. It was just you said it before the last part. I can't remember it now,
feeling
but
your
it was
strengths, life just goes
yeah. I
on.
think yeah, life goes on. Like no matter whether you decide to do it or not, like life's gonna go on. So are you gonna wake up one day like on your deathbed and be like, man, I wish I would have just like tried. Like I wish I would have just like dove in and just like, put all I had in it and just like see where I ended up, right? But you don't know unless you start. Like your life, like you said, your life will go on. We talked about this, Mom, like when we went to North Americans, and I just said, I'll be honest, like we were trying to decide if I wanted to get pregnant and have a baby or if I wanted to, continue to, compete and like build a business and like and I just told you, Mom, I was like, Mom, I have so much dread. Like I just have so much dread thinking about another child. Like I did not have a good postpartum, nor did I have a good pregnancy. Like, and I just said, I'm just filled with so much dread. And she's like, well, it's probably not the right thing, Brooklyn, if you're feeling dread. Um, and you even said to me, I think you said like, well, what would you be the most excited about or most like proud about? And this was even after I got my pro card. And even my girlfriend, we talked about this, like, okay, well, what makes you the most excited when you think about it? Like, you competing as a pro or you having a baby next year? And I'm like, definitely not having a baby, because when I think about having a baby, I feel overwhelmed and dread and stress and sad and pissed and angry. Like, all the emotions came back. And she's like, well, what about competing? And I'm like, excited, a little nervous, but like super pumped because that's like my dream is to compete as a pro. And she just was like, well, that's your answer, Brooklyn. Like, I don't know why you need to keep asking me these questions. And I'm like, because I just need reassurance. So I think like sometimes like we live life for maybe other people and what we
So
think they want
true.
from us.
So
And I know there's been a large part of me that's had to fight against that because I've grown up in Mormon USA where everybody expects a woman like me at my age to have had 5 children by now. And I am very different than a lot of the women in my community. I'm a business owner. I compete at a high level. I'm a mom. I'm still a mom. Like that's still part of me, but like I'm just different than a lot of the women especially even in my neighborhood. And I have learned to, I guess, like, especially even after this year, like, lean into the part of myself that's like, am I going to wake up one day and regret not doing that? And if the answer is like, yeah, I'm going to regret not doing it, then I'm going to go all in on it and I'm going to just go for it. So,
well, there's that saying, why try to fit in when you were born to stand out? There's that
you did
saying,
give
and
me a sign that says that.
years and years
You did.
ago,
You gave it to me. Yeah.
people we're not born the same. Some of us are born with different things in our heart, and we have to fulfill those things. We have to honor ourselves. And it is hard pushing against the mainstream of what we've grown up with. It is really hard. But to do something that you've always wanted to do, I mean, what do you want to do when you look back on your life? Just be so proud of yourself, or just always be like, what if I would have tried? It's, I look at all these people that have had these wonderful lives and very different lives than what we live around, but they've had to reach farther and harder than anybody else around them. And they've reached their goals, but they've also set those goals for themselves. And sometimes you do have to like get those big goals going. I mean, that's what burns the fire in a lot of us is sometimes we're just born different. And that's so good though, isn't it? It's so good we're all different because some of us are really supposed to go far and just keep pushing the boundaries and see what we're made out of. And it's the coolest thing ever. We're not supposed to be the same. We're all supposed to be different, and it's okay to push. It's okay to keep fighting for what you want. Who would have ever thought I'd be competing at 57? Who would have ever
So bad.
thought you'd be pro? I mean, with your years of competing, you're pro now. How cool is that? I mean, how fucking cool is that? It's so cool. But it also takes, big goals, big dreams. And you just have to live those and conquer them and go for it. Just go for it. Go big. So it's
I agree. I think maybe, for a lot of women who are afraid of maybe what other people think or haven't dove in yet, like, ask your
it is
future
hard.
self. Like what would your future self tell you, or even like the younger version of yourself? I know if my 20-year-old version saw me now, she'd be like, and if I was like still debating between the baby conversation and like go having like a pro season this year, she'd be like, "Why the would you have another baby? You just went pro and now you can compete as a pro." Like that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Like, and there's no shame on women who like choose to do that because I have a lot of friends that they love that. But my personality, I'll be honest, like having a baby was probably the most depressing time of my whole life, if I'm being honest, for like 2 or 3 years. I just did not love my life. I didn't love who I was. I had a lot of like hormonal dips. And so, like, to put myself back in that place again, I feel like I have to like conquer some things first, right? And so, for a lot of women, I think like they're so afraid to dive into like their goals of things they want because of fear of what other people think. I know that's like for me too. Or fear of like, I don't know if I can do it or if I'll make it. Well, you'll never know until you try. And also like my mom said, like you're only getting older. Life's gonna go by no matter what. So you might as well do what you want to do and do what you feel is going to be best for your life, because at the end of the day it's your life and you're the one that has to live it. So go all in. If you want it, like make it happen. Like why not? Like why not make it happen for yourself? Um like I know for me, I remember years ago I had a dream of going pro. I had a dream of building a great business. And luckily I have really good supporters in my life who help me with it. But I would have never done that if I would have kept living in the state of fear. If I would have kept living in the place of like, oh, it's too late. Like, oh, all my other friends, like, they went and got their PhDs, or well, really for me, it was all of my friends when I was building a business, they were on baby number like 7 at that point, right? Like, and still to this day, that's the case. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. But my life and my journey, I had to lean into what I felt was right for me and not worry about what other people thought. Because, again, if I thought whatever people thought, I would have never married my husband. I would have never competed. I definitely wouldn't be, like, having a business right now that I have at this point. Definitely would have never gone pro. Like, if I would have lived in the state of fear of failing, first of all, or the state of, even last year I went through it. Like,
Yes.
I kept failing. And instead of living in the place of like the fear of failure, I decided to live in the place of I'm getting closer. I'm getting closer. And you just have to live there instead of the other place, because that's, I feel like on the other side of that is the life that you want, right? It's the life that you want and the person that you want to become. But you don't become that person by living in fear of other people and what they think and the fear of failure. You only live it by saying, I don't give a fuck what other people think. And I'm sick of living a life that other people want for me. I'm going to live the life I want to live. And I'm going to do what I feel is best, because I honestly feel this way strongly about females. You know what you're supposed to do in your life. You have very strong intuition as a female. Females are very, very intuitional. Like, we know. But for a lot of us, that's been suppressed because we're so worried about what other people think. And we've been maybe very conditioned about what we're supposed to be and who we're supposed to be. When we can let that go and lean into who we want to be. And it's not even who we want. I really believe it's who we're meant to be. It not only elevates you, like, to the level of, like, where you actually want to be, but I do believe, like, we are elevated to that level so we can help other people. I believe that in everything. Like, I didn't become pro just to be, like, an awesome pro. Like, I became pro so I can help other women realize, like, you can do anything you set your mind to, right? I didn't build a business just to build a business and make money. I built a business to help other women get to the point in their life where they've always wanted to get to, physically, mentally, emotionally. So for the females that are worried about, like, it's too late, like, I can't get there, you totally can. Just get out of your own way, make it happen, make a decision today, hire the damn help, like, put one foot in front of the other, show up every day, make it happen, and you will. Like, it will happen for you. You just have to start, and you got to let go of other people and what they think, and not be afraid to fail, because I'll tell you what, you're probably going to fail. I've failed so many times. But you know what? I haven't failed because I've continued to show up, regardless of how shitty the day is or how awful, like, it is. Like, you just keep showing up. So, anyways.
No, I love
That's
that.
all.
I love that because it shows that you're winning because you are failing. I mean, you learn more from your failures than you do from your wins, always, because it takes somebody so strong to have a failure and get back up. I mean, it shows true character. And I love that you've done that, Brooklyn. I love that you've shown women that they can do whatever they want. And it's okay if you fail, because you'll just get back up and you'll do it again. And you'll hit your dreams because you just keep going for it. I mean, it's so cool you can do that. And you've shown women this. You've shown them this in every area of your life. But for them to watch you this last year, I remember it was before North Americans and you were about ready to be done. And I just looked at him like, no, I'll do North Americans with you. You're going. You're just going to keep going. And you went and you just kept going and you got your pro card after all those competitions, but you kept getting overalls. I mean, it just went back and forth to overall wins, to placing fifth, to overall win. And finally you got your pro card, and it just shows people that you can do whatever you set your mind to. You'll just do it. To me, you learn so much from your failures, and yeah, I love watching lives of people that they win big because they go for it big and they never ever ever stop. So yeah, I've loved watching you this year, Brooklyn, but I've watched you your whole life just continue to work through everything. And Brooklyn, she just keeps working harder. If there's something in her way, she works harder at it. So it's just who you are. And you teach women that they can do that. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes it's really tiring. I won't lie. Sometimes I'm like, I'm tired.
It's hard to
But
be strong, but
it's
sometimes you
hard
don't
to
have a
be
choice.
strong. I don't have a
Sometimes you
choice.
just, yeah,
I feel like, though, on the other end of the spectrum, if I gave up, I would. I don't.
you'd regret it.
I wouldn't. I would regret it. I would live in a place in my life where I wouldn't be happy. There was a version of myself who did give up, and I didn't like who I was at that point in my life. I didn't have purpose. I didn't have joy. And the thing is like people look at fitness people and they're like, they must be happy all the time. No, I still have stress in my life. I still have hard times. I still have a lot that like I have to deal with on a daily basis. When you finally let go of the fear and you start working towards whatever goal it is that you've been wanting to accomplish, like you finally find not only purpose, but you find joy. And it's not, I wouldn't say it's not this like constant happiness, like this, I'm so happy all the time. Like that's so annoying. People like that drive me crazy. But like, it's like this deep down, like I feel accomplished because I'm showing up for myself in a way I did not show up when I lost myself. Like there was a version of myself that was completely, I didn't feel like I was important. I didn't feel like anything I did was important, and nothing I did in life mattered. And now flop on the other side, I feel like everything I do matters. Like if I don't show up for this client, it matters. If I don't show up for my kid, it matters. Like there's a lot of pressure on me like all the time for all the things, but I'd rather have that pressure than to be down in that place that I was that just felt like I was nothing. And so I don't know, like at the end of the day, you know, for the females watching this, because I know a lot of my clients are very highly driven, highly successful women. You know, let's take on all the stress and all the shit we have to deal with, but let's let it build us into a better version of ourselves, and keep building on top of that. So, yeah, let's go ahead and end this. It's been an hour. So, is there anything else you wanted to add, Mom?
No, I loved everything that you said. Yeah.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much for hopping on today. Please leave a review. Please share the podcast. Guys, anything helps. Like review, comment. Like it really does make a difference. We do this just honestly to just reach other women and encourage other women to, you know, go after their goals. So thanks guys for hopping on today. Thanks, Mom, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.